Love. It's a word we use so often, yet its true depth is revealed in the quiet, selfless actions we take for those we hold dear. Today, we bring you a story that begins with heartbreak but blooms into something extraordinary. This is the tale of Mr. Kuroki, a humble farmer from Japan, who turned his grief into a masterpiece of love and devotion. A man who planted not just flowers, but hope for the woman who was his entire world. Stay with us, you won't want to miss this beautiful journey. Our story takes place in Shintomi, a small quiet town in Miyazaki Prefecture, Japan. Mr. Kuroki and his wife lived a simple yet happy life. For decades, they worked side by side as dairy farmers, their days filled with the rhythm of rural life. But their happiness was shaken when tragedy struck. Mrs. Kuroki, who had always been vibrant and full of life, began to lose her sight due to complications from diabetes. Slowly, the world around her faded to darkness. This once lively woman withdrew from life itself, her days spent indoors, her heart heavy with sadness. Imagine the person you love most in the world retreating into silence, their joy dimmed by something neither of you can change. That was the reality Mr. Kuroki faced. But instead of surrendering to despair, he made a decision that would change everything. Mr. Kuroki noticed that his wife, though unable to see, still responded to the fragrances of the outdoors, the scent of flowers, the rustle of the wind. It seemed to awaken something in her. And so an idea began to take root. What if he could bring her outside again? What if he could create a world so fragrant, so inviting that she couldn't help but step out and experience it? And so, armed with a shovel, seeds, and a heart full of determination, Mr. Kuroki began planting not just a few flowers, but an entire garden of shibazakura, or moss phlox. These vibrant pink blooms are not only visually stunning, but also carry a sweet, enchanting fragrance that can't be ignored. For 2 years, Mr. Kuroki worked tirelessly, transforming his farmland into a floral paradise. Every day, he toiled under the sun, imagining the moment his wife would step outside and smile again. And then, one day, it happened. Drawn by the sweet aroma wafting through the air, Mrs. Kuroki ventured out of her home. What she found was a sea of pink blossoms stretching as far as the eye could, or in her case, the nose could, perceive. Her sadness began to lift, replaced by the warmth of her husband's love and the joy of being surrounded by the beauty he had created for her. The garden became her sanctuary, a place where she could feel alive again. But the story doesn't end there. What began as a personal act of love became something much bigger. Today, the Kuroki Garden attracts thousands of visitors from around the world. People come not just to see the breathtaking sea of flowers, but to witness a living testament to devotion, resilience, and the power of love. Mr. Kuroki's garden reminds us that even in the face of darkness, beauty can bloom. That love is not just about grand gestures, but about the quiet, unwavering determination to bring joy to someone else's life. So, what can we learn from Mr. Kuroki's story? Perhaps it's this: love isn't about fixing everything, it's about showing up, planting seeds of hope, and nurturing them until they bloom. It's about creating light in the darkness, one flower at a time. The next time you find yourself wondering how to show someone you care, remember Mr. Kuroki. Sometimes, the greatest acts of love are the ones that take time, patience, and a heart full of faith. If this story of love and devotion moved you, please share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep planting seeds of kindness, and remember, love, like flowers, always finds a way to bloom.